We are live. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Empowering Our Future. I'm John Dan and my co-host Jennifer McCall.
We're going to kind of, I'll bring that out a little bit later.
And can you believe it? We're in the middle of November and we're having such amazing weather. Hope it continues on.
It's so true. It's amazing. It's good weather. There was a couple of cold days, but I'm really not complaining. It's nice.
I love it. It's amazing, and I can't believe we're in November. Next month is Christmas,
and share in the now.
Right.
Really being in the now, like be present from day to day. Live in the moment. You know, we hear it all the time. You know, we only live once, and stand still. Thank you for your help, and thank you for helping somebody else.
For business, but I'm telling you, yeah.
You know, why am I doing this?
That's a good question. Why are you doing it?
We need to ask ourselves that on a general basis, not just
events. And what's the latest, events that you?
Well, it's got me thinking. Why don't we do a giveaway? Is there anybody that may want to jump in on this?
Some of the authors, you mean?
Yeah, if some of the authors will get in.
Calgary. And in 2014, I participated in a book which was compiled by a lady called Anita Sisechki.
Okay.
And that just got me interested in writing. And after sharing my story and realizing how much it helped me, I participated in 4 more. And then I decided to compile my own. So the first one I compiled, titled The Depth of Her Soul, Beautiful Stories of Faith and Empowerment, was launched in February this year. And
amazing.
So when that was completed, I realized that there were so many people who wanted to share their stories, especially to share stories so that they manage to get something off their chest, as well as to heal in the process. I had seen how much it had helped me and how it was helping others. So I went on we went on to form a publishing company called Authors Without Boundaries, so that we continue to involve people from throughout the world. Whoever wants to participate when you're writing, they would take part and they'll share a story. And so everybody would benefit, people from their community and also people from our communities as well.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm sure a lot of people, will really benefit for the cause and and the awareness that you bring them, and you are truly empowering a lot of these people. And how long did it take for you guys to put something together like this?
It takes my first one because I needed to learn how to. When you're doing something for the first time, there's a lot of hidden areas that you have no idea about.
Yes.
So my first one took me just like a little over a year to complete. But this one took me, I started compiling, I started looking for people to participate in March.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. And, and so it was published. It was published on the 1st of November, which took much shorter than what I did before.
And who's a key person like in your life that really inspired you to write a book, or that got you really going? I mean, was there any?
I remember when I was younger, when we did English lessons, my teacher used to mention something like, you do very well in writing, but it's not something that I pursued. But I have got so many stories in me, so many stories about my life. So once I got started, it was as if something has just been opened. But my mom is a writer, and she was a teacher many years ago. And so I think she inspires me a lot because I've seen how much time he puts in doing the research for whatever topic she'll be working on. And she has inspired me in a lot of ways.
Well, you are inspiring a lot of people in many different ways, right? So, it's just right. So, there's so many people out there that are needing this kind of support, and I think it's great. And you must have been excited when you put this together and a lot of positive feedback.
Absolutely. Especially now, I'm getting quite a lot of feedback from friends of some of the co-authors who have bought the book and are reading the book, and the feedback I'm getting from the co-authors as well that they're getting from their relatives.
Oh yes.
It's so fulfilling to know that you are impacting people in a positive way, and I think in future the dream is to work with people who, we've got a struggling society these days. And,
yes.
Absolutely.
And so is to also see if we can approach maybe some of the government services who work with people who are struggling, so that at least if they use this platform to share their stories and get help in some way.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Because I've got several friends that are, who are empowered. They're doing the same thing that you're doing, and I think it's a great cause. It's fabulous, and it's time for a lot of people that that are looking for support, looking to get empowered. They can get a hold of you. They can get a hold of Jen, and and everybody deserves to be happy. And like the last week, I met a friend of mine actually on the weekend. Her name is Jackie. She's a very young girl. Actually, she might be, looking into your book, or I'm going to suggest your book. But she's got a lot of things that she wants to do in terms of creating a movement like what you're doing. And I think it's getting a group of women or inspiring individuals together can make so much difference, because the world's already negative, right? There's so many chaotic things happening.
And we know from experience and from our own journeys, what we've gone through, that, you can't learn what you don't know, and you can't know what you don't know.
Yes.
You have to learn it. You have to grow. You have to learn. But if there's nothing around you or nobody around you to teach you, to take you to that next level, then you're stuck where you are. We always have to up level and grow and go to the next step. But if you don't put yourself out there to even take the next step, that's where things are going to get really challenging.
That's true.
Not everybody has mentors and people that they can look up to as they're growing up.
Absolutely.
I know I didn't have anybody myself, so I know what that's like. It's not always easy. So
especially a lot of young people that need some kind of direction, some kind of not just mentorship, but to look up to, right? I mean, they see a lot of these people who are making a difference in writing books or inspiring others, empowering. It makes such a big deal because you don't know what's there's so many negativity on a day-to-day basis that sometimes you need to take the book, go in a quiet place, just read, and one page one word can just trigger you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that I got my own copy. I purchased my copy off of Amazon, and when I got my copy, I started reading it. Obviously, I read mine first, because to actually see it physically in black and white, like it's in your hands, it's physical now. You get to see all the hard work and the nights, the sleepless nights, and the stresses, and the days that you want to pull out your hair, or your publisher wants to push you off cliffs.
Absolutely.
Because it's a journey, and it's a journey itself, but the outcome is so absolutely beautiful. It's like you watch a flower bloom, and these are the moments for people to actually do it. And And the thing is Monica provides that place. She provides that outlet, that space to be able to do that.
Absolutely. That is, this is the beauty about writing, because when you share a chapter in a book, but what happens then is you get to do your biography, which means that you, for the first time probably, you sit down and really find out who you are and
Yes.
how you want people to see you, and there's a lot of reflection there.
Yes.
But
yes.
also
And
writing in
resistance.
itself. Writing in itself, it gives you confidence.
Yes.
It builds your self-esteem. It improves your memory.
It does. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got so many.
There's like a therapeutic element.
Absolutely, and it would also tap into your creativity as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's great, because you're right, because it brings self-reflection and understanding who you are as a person. A lot of people don't stop to think sometimes and who they really are, right? And I think that's a great tool, to bring out your creativity and self-reflection about who you really are, what you're capable of doing, and what you want to do with your life, right? So, and I think it's great.
At the end of the day, I just want to make a note to our listeners, if depending on where you are, in your life, this book is real life stories. It's about stories of people from all different parts of the world, who have, face challenges or obstacles. And really, this book is really, it's Untold Stories of Resilience. The title is the title for a reason, and it's really the stories of the courage and strength that you don't know you have until you've actually physically had to endure something yourself, and to be able to look back and reflect on it, and, to open that space and allow somebody else in or to see is a big step for a lot of people, but this is how we can help each other too at the same time. So, for all of you guys out there, if you know somebody that may be having a hard time or struggling, this is a perfect book to give them. The holidays are coming. It's a great gift to give. I mean, it's got 19 different stories of people that have gone through different things in their life and how they've gotten their courage and their resilience and coming out the other side. It's an amazing read,
And I think it's and I think it's that's well said, Jen. And also, I mean, what advice would you guys give to someone who's just coming out, wanting to write a book or about the story of their life? They're a bit scared because there's not too many people out there. It's all about positive and being confident, right? What kind of advice would you give someone who's been through a lot and who wants to write a story? What kind of encouragement, what kind of advice would you give that individual?
Well, contact us.
The good thing about us is we are life coaches.
Right.
So we understand how to work with someone who's feeling vulnerable. We support them. And what normally happens is, sometimes they write their story. When they write the story, they send it to us. And then when we read it, we can go back and really talk about it. You find that when they write that story for the second time, it will blow your mind, because they have then decided to step out of the comfort zone and really bring out, their true self, or whatever, the true emotions which they were holding back.
Right.
And there's an added, but hold on, John, there's also an added bonus for authors too, especially working with Monica and I, and that, with us being life coaches, the other bonus that you get, I know working myself personally, my experience working with Monica was, she gives that space. You do get individualized coaching, and it's not just about the book, because when you're writing your story, the whole process of it, it's an evolution. It's something that you're evolving and growing and going through. And for somebody to actually be there to support you going through it is phenomenal. This is above and beyond what you can think. And it doesn't matter. Like, there's been late nights that we've been up on the phone and, different things. And, it's a journey. And she really holds your hand going through the journey.
That's amazing. I think that's fabulous because, more